Hi, everybody. Jackie Woodside here. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about something that I have dealt with clients of mine, both in therapy and in coaching for many, many, many years, and have seen it stop lots of people from accomplishing lots of great things and really living their dreams. And it's this, just what we call fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of what if, fear of failing, fear of succeeding. There's so many things that people say, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that, but I'm so afraid. So the first thing you need to recognize is that that's not fear, that's actually anxiety. Fear is when, you hear something go bump in the night. You hear something rumbling on your back porch, or you hear the back door slam, but you're home alone. The big bear is chasing you through the woods. Fear is a response that you're in immediate danger, or there's something completely threatening you. And you go into an immediate state of hyperarousal, of your heart rate soaring and your adrenaline kicking in, and you're in that fight or flight immediate experience. That's not what most people are experiencing when they have this low-grade anxiety of what is it that's going to happen if I do this next new thing, if I take this action that I'm not secure on. Mostly what we're dealing with is our low-grade anxiety that's just constantly there and watching for what might possibly go wrong. That what if mind that's always there, lurking just behind the shadows of your dreams. So I'm going to give you a quick primer on what to do when you have that thought of like, I wish I would, or man, it would be great if I could do this next thing. But then that, you feel that tightening in your chest and the pulling in of your solar plexus, and your thoughts get less clear. You're anxious and you don't take action. So here's the 3 areas that you need to address. I'm going to give you a 3x3 matrix, 3 items to address and 3 things to do for each of them. The 3 items: think, say, and do. Until you have 3 things to think, 3 things to say, and 3 things to do when you are in the face of that what if anxious mind. First thing is to think to yourself, look, this anxiety, this fear that I'm calling this fear is inside me. It's not outside of me. So, maybe you want to try some new sport or new activity, or maybe you want to try a career change and you think, yeah, but what if they don't like me? What if I don't make enough money? What if I get hurt trying that thing? That fear is not outside of you. It's not in the new job place. It's not in the deep water that you want to jump off the cliff and dive into. It's not that. The fear is inside of you. But what we do in a defensive way is we project it and we say, oh, it's, that person that I'm afraid of, that, that job offer that I'm afraid of. That's not what you're afraid of. The fear is inside of you. Second thing to say to yourself, look, all that's happening is my neurology is now on hyper arousal and I can calm it down. What that means is, when you have this thought that something is dangerous because it's threatening the status quo and your ego gets defensive, what happens then is you go into this hyper arousal state and you think of every possible thing that could go wrong. So all you need to do is step back. I'm observing this. Wow, I can see it. My neurology, my brain, my mind, my thoughts, whatever you want to call it, is in hyper arousal. But I can calm it down. Think that. I can calm myself down. I can calm myself down. Third thing, anxiety is an emotion. That's all it is. And I can manage it. Number 3, anxiety is an emotion and I can manage it. Emotions are not going to kill you. Yes, they feel uncomfortable when you've got that fear-based mind, that anxious mind. It's uncomfortable, absolutely. Every time before I go on to do a big gig and I'm up in front of, hundreds of people, my heart is racing, my palms are sweating. I even like to joke my butt muscles are quivering. But man, all I say to myself is, this is okay. This is my arousal state to help my mind be clear so I can bring forth the best of myself in that engagement. So that's what you think. Number 2, what you say. 3 things to say to yourself. And actually, not even to yourself. I want you to say this out loud. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Say it out loud. I'll be okay. Say it out loud. I've been through this before. This isn't your first rodeo with feeling anxious, is it? It's not your first rodeo. You've had these emotions before. You've been down this road before. So say out loud, I've been through this before. And number 3, I know how to handle this. Even if you're just learning, affirming to yourself, I know how to handle this. Number 3, what to do. First of all, emotion is energy in motion, and you've got to get things in motion. So first of all, move your body, walk, stretch, do some deep breathing. My son tends toward the anxious, and I've been teaching him since he was a baby. Use your yoga breaths. Use your yoga breaths. When you slow down your heart rate by deep breathing, your mind immediately starts to quiet down as well. Move your body, walk, stretch, and take some deep breaths. Number 2, decide on the next immediate step about this thing that you're afraid of. What is the next immediate step? Most often when your anxious mind kicks in, you go into overwhelm. You're thinking, 6 weeks, 6 years into the next experience, trying to figure it all out, when in fact, all you need to do is maybe a little Google search or a little informational interview or ask a question of one person. Break it down to the one next immediate step. Just focus on that right there. Let all of the rest of that projecting into the future and all of that anxiety about what if, what might. No, let that go. Just what's my next immediate step? Decide on that next immediate step. And then number 3, ask for support and accountability to actually take that step. Talk to a friend, a mentor, a coach. Just tell somebody, hey, there's this thing I want to do. I'm kind of anxious about it. Here's the one thing I want to do this week. Will you hold me accountable to that? I'll check in with you by Friday, tell you that I've done it. So let's review very quickly. 3 things to think, say, and do. The 3x3 matrix. 3 things to think. Fear's inside of me, not outside of me. I'm in hyperarousal. Anxiety is an emotion, and I can handle it. 3 things to say. I'll be okay. I've been through this before, and I know how to handle this. 3 things to do. Move your body, walk, stretch, deep breath. Decide not on the 5-year plan, but boom, what am I going to do right now, today, tomorrow, about this thing that I'm all wrapped up about? Number 3, tell somebody, ask for support and accountability. And I want to say, you've got this. You've got your neurology, your human mind, your ego that gets into this fear and anxiety, but you have this higher part of yourself, this higher mind, this wise mind that's always there, ready to be accessed, ready to guide, love, and support you. That's what you need to tap into. So there you go. Quick tip for today on how to manage that thing that we call fear, which is in fact really anxiety. I look forward to hearing your comments, your thoughts, and supporting you more in your growth and development. Go make it a great day.